welcome back to UAL4 Race 6 here at Road Atlanta. So far it's been a pretty close season. Uh, we have all 25 cars here ready to take the qualifying. This race is going to be a little bit of a night race. There's some track lighting, but it's going to be fairly dark. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers handle this. Right now qualifying is going on. We also have resorted back to the previous way of showing the time. That's not what I meant. Basically the previous time overlay. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. We used it at Homestead, and I feel like it was just the better way of doing it. It just felt better. So currently we are watching qualifying. We have all the times down below that are going to be showing up during this. I think the first car out on track is Chad Broski as he comes back right into traffic. A lot of fast-paced S's down here, very quick descent, and then you ascend right back up again, all while trying to turn the car. This was used in the Endurance AI Championship race. Spencer Alfredo, who is currently on the ticker at the bottom, ended up winning the race. About 6 minutes left. Chad Broski's going to be the first driver to set a time. As of now, he'll probably actually be getting a good draft from the 46. As he's going to have to try and get by, which is definitely going to slow him down. We see right behind Gus Fring going just a bit faster. So 126.449 is the benchmark as of now. Gus Fring, we're going to have to see what he's going to do. A very fast final turn. Where is that going to put him? Doesn't even put him on the timing screen. As May Borowski now goes first with a 25.999, but immediately beaten by Sussus Amogus. As Sussus Amogus gets a little loose, Saul Goodman now goes to the top. Trying to see if there'll be any more pinks, but as of now, no one is turning a pink right now. Trying to see some pinks. Right now, Saul Goodman getting held up by Karishima as Chad Broski goes P1 by about a second, over a second. So that is very solid right there. That is a very solid qualifying effort. Gus Fring also had a good time, but I don't see it anywhere on the timing screen, so I guess it's 2 laps without an official time. Saul Goodman coming around. He's got a pink, but he also has a yellow. So we're gonna have to see how does that get outweighed. It will be an improvement, just not good enough. He'll be in second. Eliza Doe shoots up to third, was on pole at Phoenix, led most of the laps, but it didn't finish the way they wanted it to. Sorry, I meant Atlanta, the oval one. Led the most laps, but just wasn't there at the end. Right behind her, the Sun, which also was up there at the front until was involved in a crash at the end. Chad Broski almost improves his time, just not quite there as Wine Silliman goes second, only about a tenth back. The 83 now on a good lap. Let's see if this one will actually count. As he goes P1 with a 123.3, as he is on top by about 8 tenths. Will anyone be able to get close to Sebastio? Goes second, down by 6 tenths. Everyone has set a lap now. One of the championship contenders all the way down in 25th. Not going too fast, seems. So we're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to improve. Phil Slow moved up to second, about 3 tenths back, as Silliman is on yet another good lap. Let's see where this one will put him. Second by 9 thousandths. That close for the top spot. He'll get another lap, but he may have used all his energy on that lap, so we're gonna have to wait for him to go all the way around again. So May Borowski is on a good lap, but has a yellow. May have gotten held up. P1 by about 6 tenths, as now Saul Goodman gonna try and go for it. He's got pink in the first sector. Let's see how this will be. He'll get another attempt after this. He comes to the line just in time. Is it good enough for P1? No, it's only good enough for 4th. He will get another lap though, so it's not done just yet. All the cars on track are going a lot faster than they previously were. 10 cars within a second of first place. Phil Slow moves up to 5th. As checkered flag is out, so everyone coming to the line right now. That'll be it for them. Spencer Alfredo, he'll go 11th. John Panini up there in points, so is Tetsu. He does not improve. He'll stay 17th as Chad Broski shoots up to second, but will not get first place. Currently on watch. Spring Roll has been on a roll these last couple weeks. Let's see where he'll go this week for qualifying. It may be first. Oh, it's about 200ths off of first place. He'll go second. OxyClean is on a good lap. Where will he go? It's an improvement, but only to 12th. As Karishima has a pink in the first sector, a green in the second, and a yellow in the third. Where will this lap go? It's not going to be P1. It's only good enough for 7th, but it is an improvement, so you gotta take what you can. Bill Slow trying to come across. He's the final car, I'm pretty sure. He'll come across, and it's not going to be pole. It'll be good enough for a top 5 in qualifying, though. So after qualifying, here is your starting lineup. Whoa. What has happened there? That was not meant to happen, but okay. Okay, so that's just broken. Hello. Okay. So just got to show from the timing tower. First place was Mae Borowski in qualifying. She'll be on pole, followed by Springroll, and then Gus Fring right behind. It's gonna be a close race, I'm gonna tell you. It was pretty good in qualifying. A lot of changes for position. So Mae Borowski on pole with Springroll in second, Gus Fring in third, Chad Broski fourth, Phil Slow in fifth, 6 Saul Goodman, 7 Wine Silliman, 8 is Karishima, ninth Susa Samogus, 10th will be Eliza Doe, row 6 is her teammate David Lois in OxyClean, and then in row 7 we have Spencer Alfredo and Diogo Sebastião. Row 8 is Chris and Max Cold, current points leader. Chris is also the defending race winner. And then we go back to row 9 and we have the Sun and Missing Sock. Row 10 is Rogero Espinel and Tetsu. And then row 11, a championship contender all the way in the back, Beijing Beef and Jacques Croissant. And then row 12 will be the Father and John Panini, and then rounding out the field is Mahavir Raghunathan. So here is some race info. So this is race 6 of 25, 2.52 miles. It's a very fast track, a lot of very fast turns. 78 degrees Fahrenheit, about 74 degrees. Track 74 degrees. For the actual weather, 78 is track temp, so it's not going to be that much hotter. But it is going to go into the night, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, so nothing extreme there. Now we shift gears. Let's take a look at your point standings coming in. That is not updated. Max Cold went up to first place, but he only has a 6-point lead over Chris. Then it's Beijing Beef, Tetsu, John Panini, Gus Fring, Eliza Doe, OxyClean. Springroll up 9 spots in points. Phil Slow in 10th, The Father in 11th, Spencer Alfredo in 12th. 13th, Jacques Croissant. 14th is Chad Broski. 15th is Saul Goodman. 16th is Karishima. 17th is David Lois. 18th is Missing Sock. And then the bottom of the grid, we have Wine Silliman hasn't really had too great of a season. The Sun, Mae Borowski, your pole sitter, is all the way down in 21st. Diogo Sebastião trying to play catch up. Same with Rogero Espinel. Susa Samogus ended up crashing at Atlanta, with just being over aggressive, and it did not work out at all. And then Mahavir Raghunathan 24th. He actually had a pretty good Atlanta. Should have been a top 5, but it was only a top 10, but you'd take it. So, now your team standings. Vasily Snorters, that has the 0 of Chris on it. Team YouTube, Spring Speed, the Flat Earthers, the Magenta Saucies, Los Polos Hermanos, the Graveyard, the Laundry Boys, BFL Racing, the Italian Mob, La Vitesse, Raghunathan Racing, Team RAS, and then Ruo Dom Sebastião Racing for both of their drivers, just trying to catch up in points. Cars are now gridding. Getting ready to start this race. Pace car now starting to roll. All cars coming to life. So it's going to be a good race. If I had to make a prediction, who would I pick? I think spring roll would probably be my choice. Just been trying to catch up for a good amount of the season. It didn't start off too well, but the last couple races have gone right, and now he's starting on the outside in row 1. He's gonna have to dive for it, but it could be good. Chad Broski's also been playing catch up. Has also not gone too well for him. And then Los Polos Hermanos, Gus Fring and Saul Goodman. That is not Saul Goodman. There he is. Um, both have kind of had up and down races. It's just would be a good one, and then followed by a really bad one. Chris defending race winner, gonna be starting deep in the field. Max Gold also deep in the field, but even deeper, Beijing Beef all the way down in 21st. So these drivers have a lot to think about. Lagunafin Racing, not really the fastest team this season. Currently has their drivers starting 1st and 25th this race. So, very interesting. This is a brand new track for UAL4. It's not going to be the first time I'm going to be saying that this season. We also have other new races at Lucas Oil, Hungaro Ring. There's a couple others, but I've forgotten. Oh yeah, race at Bristol, that's going to be a fun one. USF 2000 cars can actually go flat out on them, except they'll have to lift because of traffic. But here we go. All cars are ready. They're coming over the hill. It's a very fast descend. The cars spread out. As there we go. Maborowski gets a pretty good start. But here comes Gus Fring trying to go down the inside. Gonna try and send it. As Gus Fring is the first one to go into the turn. But Maborowski's gonna have the advantage going into the next apex. As now Maborowski has retaken the lead. Here they go, they're all trying to go down. No first lap calamity, but Gus Fring is already on the move. Almost got 2 cars immediately at the start. Springroll trying to defend from Phil Slow back there in 3rd. Gus Fring just trying to chase about half a second back. Slowly closing in. See all the cars coming over the hill. Gonna maybe try and send it on the outside. Here we go. Down into the chicane. Maborowski just edges out. Phil Slow almost got passed by Chad Borowski trying to defend there. Maborowski now being hunted once again. It's going to be a battle into turn 1. Gus Fring is going to have the advantage coming up here as he draws side by side. As Maborowski now gets past and has to surrender of a position. Gus Fring, now your leader on lap 2 of 26. Still got a long race to go. Top 5 really broke away from the rest of the field. Top 5 separated by a second and a half. Then about 3 seconds back is 6th place. We could have a draft chain up here, but Gus Fring is slowly starting to pull away, already up to, no, actually not slowly, he's already up by about a second and a half. And still growing. He'll probably catch a 2-second gap. Now Maborowski gonna have to defend. Springroll's gonna try and be aggressive. Phil Slow almost looking to do free wide. As side by side into the chicane, Springroll will just get the position. But Maborowski may be able to fight back down the hill. Gonna have to draft and keep with. not going to send it. Borowski is now in 3rd place. There's your track map right up there. A lot of the cars still very close, except for the leader and Ragunathan, back to his usual antics. As we got Phil Slow trying to defend from Chad Broski down here. Phil Slow will just stay ahead. Biggest movers at the start, Sebastio and Max Cole, both up 3 spots since the start. And then nobody's lost more than 3. Amogus and Bylois both lost 3. Borowski's going to try and send it on spring roll to get the position back. Not able to do it, as Phil Slow almost let Chad Broski by, but was able to fight back. Three and a half seconds is the gap from spring to spring roll. So now we're back into the S's for the 4th time this race. Most of the field very close together, only a couple gaps splitting the field apart. As Chad Broski again trying to pull side by side with Phil Slow. It's a big draft chain right now, which is basically when the car gets stuck. Because they're drafting the car in front, there's no position changing. Because everyone's just getting a draft off each other except for the front car. As Borowski gonna try again. Phil Slow trying to sense a pass on the 20 and almost gets it. This Beijing Beef not doing too hot, as he is now struggling for 23rd. As Phil Slow gonna try again going into turn 1. It's not gonna happen. Still will follow the 20, but is now under fire from the 84 of Chad Broski. Big charge VO7, again trying to look for it, but cannot find it. Has had pretty good pace this season, just the results have not really shown for it, especially the first couple races. It did come together at Barber. Atlanta and Phoenix did not go too well, and then a DNF at Homestead, as now he's going to try and send it on the 20 again, just outbreaks her, and is going to get for position. Phil Slow now up into the podium places. Now he's got about a second and a half to try and catch the car in front. Spring roll trying to close in. This midfield all the way back here is just a big chain of cars linked up one by one. So I thought I saw the sun trying to make a move in the S's on Chris, which would have probably only ended in disaster. As Goodman trying to defend from Karishima just stays ahead. As now Borowski's gonna try and fight back around Phil slow. May have pulled side by side way too soon. It's gonna be a close, it's just gonna be who can outbrake the other. This time it looks to be Phil slow. He'll just stay ahead. It's a battle into turn 1. The 20 had an open space, but is not willing to risk it. Jumping out of line. And could potentially have an accident, especially going into these S's. That would only result in a really big accident unless you can somehow save it in the grass, which would be a feat of its own. As now the 84 gonna try and make a move in the back end of this circuit, but just not enough straightaway length to get some speed on the 20. So now it's going to be a game of patience for Chad Broski to see when he can get by. He almost goes to the inside, but he's going to try on the outside now. The 84 is there, but will just not be able to get it. The 20 will stay ahead. As Spring Roll has now set the fastest lap, is now Chad Broski gonna try again on the front stretch, not able to do it still. Still just some great battling, especially down the straightaways. Now Eliza Doe is going to try and get in on the action. Just trying to see where a pass can get done. Borowski is just left the door open, just enough for the 84 to sail on by. As now Chad Broski is now up into the 4th position. Now May Borowski is now just going to have to try and fight for a top 5 as Eliza Doe trying to make a move while Goodman tried to make a move on her. Meanwhile, at the front, Spring Roll is still chasing down Gus Fring. Chase is on. As now the 15 gonna try and send it. Cannot get it done, but almost had it. Borowski gonna try again to get the position back, but has not been able to regain a position once it was lost, but is actually pulling side by side as we got a little bit of a pack race right here. A lot of cars sending it as the 20 will get by once again. What a pass around the outside as we have a car off track. That is Mahavir Gunafin, but he's found his way back on as the 20 is now back into 4th. But now the 84 is going to try again to pass. As the 4 also managed to get by the 60 through all of that. So now back down the straight again. Let's see how the draft chain performs this time. Here we go once again, the 84 rematching once again. And we'll get by once again. So now the 20's gonna have to try to defend again, as the 60 also managed to regain position on the 4. Down the short straight once again. As now the car is starting to fan out once again, trying to size up a good pass into the chicane, 2x2. How many of these cars will be able to defend as the 20 almost leaves the door open for the 15, as now the 15 left the door open for the 60. Side by side, down through the fast kink, flat out. What a battle, as now the 15 may lose another position to the 4, just falling back. What could have been a nice pass for the 15 almost turned to complete disaster. As meanwhile the front is still being closed in, but this battle for about 4th to 10th has been really spicy these last few laps. We're already pulling up on about halfway. And the sun is still up in the sky. We may end with some sunlight remaining, as May trying to go for it again, but is definitely gonna leave the door open for the 60 this time. This may have been a mistake, but the 60 may have to check up because of the 84. Or will the 20 be able to fight for position? The 20 almost gets ran off the road, but now they're gonna fight down through the kink. The 20's got some room, but the 84 will just stay ahead, but now the 60 is gonna try and make a pass on the 20. The room is there, and the 20 has now fallen back into 6. May Borowski now outside the top 5. Still in a pretty good position compared to where they've been for the rest of the season. As we have a car off track, that is Chad Broski falling down the order. Oh, that's going to be a huge loss. Even a wall tap just went way wide after braking very late. tried to stop the car right in time, but got some damage on his back wing probably. But still rejoins almost inside the top 10. Gus Fring still being chased by Springroll, but now the middle of the pack. This little group has kind of split up a little bit. As Chad Broski has now entered the pit lane after some definite damage on his back wings. As the 20 went way wide and is going to lose a lot of momentum. Going down here, it's like kind of a 90-degree turn, just a lot more round, as the 20 will lose position to the 15 after one small mistake in VS's. As Ragunathan has gone off track in VS's. Those cars having some trouble back there. As now the 20 is under fire from the 4. The 4 may have to check up. As now they're battling once again down the straightaway through the kink. The 4 is gonna be wide. And then the 18 trying to defend from Silliman, as Borowski will be passed once again. Just one mistake in the S's cost 2 spots, and now falls down to 7th. Now the 20 once again under threat of losing position with the 18 right there. That is Sebastio. Almost thought about making an opportunistic move, but thought otherwise. Lap 15, biggest mover is Sebastio, up 6 spots. As now the 20 gonna try and pull side by side, but here comes the 18 trying to send it down the inside and pulls the position away from the 20. That 20 is just dropping back now in 8th spot. As now the 87 trying to send it on the 46. Fastest lap now goes to the 0 with a 122.557. As the 4 has gone off track and comes to a stop. Just went way wide and did some off-roading. May have gotten some damage, maybe some grass stuck in the wheels or something, I don't really know. Maybe lost some traction. As now we have another incident with the 20 going off track backwards into the wall. Oh no, what could have been a good race now has turned to disaster. A lot of these cars having a lot of issues, just went way wide and is now stalled. It is stalled again. Trying to get back going, now down in 23rd. Oh, that could have been a good result. But now it's basically just turned to disaster. A lot of these cars having some grip issues, just going wide, making a lot of mistakes. As the 2 is once again falling back from the leader. Had a lot of pace and just now doesn't. So gonna have to try and catch up as Phil Slow in 3rd. We don't really have a lot of battles up here until we get to about OxyClean chasing Silliman, who's being chased by David Bialois. As there goes the 46, way wide. That's what May Borowski did earlier. As the 87 tried to pass, but now the 16 is inside. But the 87 may be able to try and get back. As now we charge back down the straight into the best passing opportunities. Right down here. As now the 16 has gone by, the 87 just falling back. But he's going to try and fight back on the straightaway, doing a crossover. And now the 0 is going to try and take that position, but won't be able to. Biggest mover now is Sebastian, up 8 spots, currently in 6th. The 18 trying to close in on the 15. Now we go back here. Still some close battling. The 87 just trying to catch up OxyClean. Lost a lot of position, but is now under attack from Chris but is trying to attack David Bialois. Almost gets the position as now Espinel is going around Samogus for position. That's going to be a good position gain right there. Gus Fring just still pulling away as Wine Silliman. That's the fastest lap of the 1:22.547. OxyClean about 3 tenths off as Chad Broski kind of went off track again. I saw it pop up on my radar thingy, but now we're starting to enter the question of when will pit stops happen. As right as I say it, they're starting to happen. The 83 is now pulled in, followed by the 2 coming down. Will anyone try and stay out later and see what would happen then? Doesn't look like it, at least from these front groups. Everyone's just pulling in at the same time. Spring roll pulls in. We got a couple cars staying out. Sebastian's now going to move into the lead. Gus Fring gets out at a 9.1 second pit stop. Spring roll now out, and Sebastian now charging down the hill. Sebastian's gonna need to put on a nice lap here, as he may have shot it a little wide going into that turn. As he definitely sent it wide in that turn, so that's gonna make him lose some time. So we're gonna have to see what his lap speed will be, because you need a good in lap, and his just wasn't too good. Also, OxyClean passed David Bialois. So let's see what he's got. And then we're gonna also watch what the 83 is doing, and that right there is not gonna be any better. Jacques Croissant was slowing him up, but he should be able to pass the 18 with relative ease. David Bialois, the only car to have not pit so far. Sebastian had a 12.3 second pit stop. That made him lose a lot of time. He'll fall all the way down to 8th. Now he's got his teammate right behind him in 9th, who also pitted that lap. So Bialois is gonna come in for a pit stop, but he, probably not gonna be a lead unless this is a really powerful in lap and he has a really fast pit stop. But even then, it's only about a 12-second gap. He'd need about a 40 to 35 to have a chance at being able to do that. As now the 16 comes in, and now the 83 should go by. As Goodman and Silliman, as well as Bialois, are having a good battle. Sending it into the chicane. Silliman will just lose the position. Sorry, that is not Bialois, that is Eliza Doe. Bialois will leave pit lane in 4th, but may get swallowed up by the cars behind, but they're not actually going to be able to pass him going into the S's. So a great pit stop strategy move, which now launches him into 4th. And the cars will be slow behind him, but they'll maybe try and make a move. Now going down into the short straightaway right here. Now here's a little pit time summary. Let's see who had the fastest pit stop. No 6-second pit stop. The fastest one I see is a 7.1 from Kirishima's team, which got them up to 21st. Slowest pit stop, besides Broski's, would be a 12.2 from Sebastian. As now we have a big charge. A lot of cars going everywhere, but Goodman will get by Bialois, as now Bialois is now under threat from his teammate Eliza Doe. (16) trying to go to the inside, 15 is going to have to go to the outside. Eliza Doe not willing to send it on a teammate, so it's just going to stay behind for now. But still a really good pit stop strategy for Bialois to get them out into 5th. It's a good battle right here. A lot of cars bunched up. You see just a lot of guys ready and willing to send it, as they're not all in the greatest condition in points. A lot of these guys are actually pretty far back or just trying to catch up. And then you also see Chad Broski right there. He's just trying to get some speed. As now David Bialois will get passed by Eliza Doe. That one was not really surprising, as the 15 definitely had more speed. As now Sebastian is just trying not to get passed by Chad Broski, just to try and get that track position out in front and be able to continue battling with the guys right up in front of him. His teammate Espinel in 9th, has moved up 10 spots since the start. That is your biggest mover. Biggest loser would be Borowski, down 22 spots. After going off right at this little area back here. So now we head down the straightaway once again. Silliman's gonna try and make a move. We also have the 69 who has gone off track, but has gotten going again. Here we go into the braking. Dave Bailos will just stay ahead, but Sebastian is going to try and make a move around, but can't get it done. Had gained a lot of positions, but after a really slow pit stop, fell down to 8th, and is now just trying to catch up. As we have 2 laps to go. Espinel now going side by side with Broski, just trying to maybe try and catch up and gain some more positions en route to his best finish this season. The 18 has done a pretty decent job at trying to catch up. Got that 2nd at Phoenix. Yeah, started the season late, just trying to play catch up. It went okay so far, but Espinel has not really had the best time. It's kind of been fairly rough on him. As now 1 lap to go for Gus Fring. You see Springroll in the back, about 1.7 seconds behind, about 2nd faster that lap. But I think the gap is too large unless Fring makes a fatal mistake. Through VS's one final time. Going into one of the toughest parts of the track. Makes it through nicely. Kirishima sets the fastest lap of a 1:22.383. Now we head down the straightaway. One final time, but 2 is too far back. This will be Gus Fring's first win of the season. Will definitely push him up into championship contention now. Through the chicane one final time. No threat from behind. A phenomenal drive today. Took the lead from the start and never looked back. It is Gus Fring who's going to win at Road Atlanta. As we have a little bit of an off-track excursion from Ragunathan, who's down in 24th right now, just trying to finish. Springroll gets a good 2nd. Not what he would have wanted, but it still ended pretty good for him. Phil Slow will get on the podium once again. It's really been these elevated tracks that he has done very well at. A lot of elevation change. Fast and flowy. So we're gonna have to see how he does at Road America in the next race, which I am pretty sure to be Michigan or Red Bull Ring. I'm not quite sure. We will see. Gus Fring, a very powerful drive today. We'll get him on the top step of the podium. It's definitely going to make him improve a lot in the championship. So that is all from Road Atlanta. It was a good race. Very exciting, a lot of close diciness, a few mistakes, but relatively clean. As I said earlier, I'm not quite sure if Red Bull Ring or Michigan will be up next. I gotta try and catch up on the upload, so if you're seeing this, um, I may have probably just released the last couple races because I kind of keep forgetting to upload them, and I'm too lazy. So next race, I'm pretty sure is Michigan because I'm pretty sure I remember it for being race 7. Which will be double points if it is Michigan. It also will be a pretty long one. So stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.